One of the most mysterious objects on Earth is a ring believed to have come from heaven. It bears incredible similarities to the ring in the Lord of the Rings. This ring is mentioned in the Old Testament and many ancient esoteric books. Whoever possesses the ring is said to have the power to rule the world. But who is searching for this extraordinary ring today? Who will find it and claim its power? There are many things you need to know about this ring, one that disappeared thousands of years ago, after the death of the prophet Solomon. According to various sources, the ring will one day fall into the hands of a surprising power, which will use it to influence humanity. If you're ready to uncover the unbelievable mysteries of the ring and the recent claims that it has been found in Turkey, let's begin. A ring from paradise. When Adam and Eve were sent to earth from paradise thousands of years ago, Adam brought a ring with him, a ring gifted to him by the Almighty God. This ring carried a special knowledge that granted extraordinary powers to its wearer. As Adam left paradise, the ring left with him. It was inscribed with the words, "Property belongs to God." According to legend, after Adam, who was said to have lived on earth for about a year, passed away, the ring returned to paradise. Time passed, humanity multiplied, and civilization spread across the planet. Then God gave the angel Gabriel a mission to bring the ring back to earth and give it to a chosen individual. That person was none other than the prophet David. Gabriel, with God's permission, took the ring and descended to earth, bringing it to David. This marked the second time the ring left paradise. But who was David, and why was he chosen? David and the battle with Goliath. The prophet David lived about 1,000 years after Abraham. As a young shepherd, he tended his family's sheep and lambs. In adulthood, he became a military leader, though he had not yet won the love of all his people. At the time, a giant warrior named Goliath was the sworn enemy of the Israelites. He was nearly invincible, until the day David stepped forward to challenge him. Using only a slingshot, David struck Goliath down and defeated him, earning the admiration of his people. With God's permission, David and his forces overcame their enemies. As a reward, God granted David wisdom, dominion, and knowledge beyond ordinary human understanding. It was then that God gave him the ring, a sign of divine favor and power. The transfer of power. When Gabriel brought the ring to David, he told him, "I have brought you a ring from God and some questions. Gather your sons as God has commanded, and ask them these questions. Whoever answers correctly will succeed you and receive this ring, ruling over the entire world." David assembled his people and, in their presence, asked his sons one by one, "What is the most beautiful thing in the world? What is the ugliest thing in the world? What is the sweetest thing in the world? What is the coarsest thing in the world?" Of all David's 19 sons, only Solomon answered every question correctly. However, David noticed something peculiar. Solomon smiled uncomfortably as he answered each question. David asked, "Why did you smile in an unseemly way while answering these questions?" Solomon replied, "I did not know the answers." But after each question, an ant standing over there whispered the correct response to me. Though it was surprising that Solomon had received the answers from an ant, David saw wisdom in it. Since Solomon had answered correctly, he was given the ring. Thus the ring passed from Adam to David and then to Solomon by God's will. The seal of Solomon, Solomon's ring, also known as the Seal of Solomon, was believed to contain the hidden name of God, a secret only a few humans and angels knew. With this ring, Solomon was granted immense power. By God's permission, he ruled over the wind, the animals, and even the jinn. When Solomon wore the ring, he could command supernatural forces. He often wore it on his ring finger, using its power to maintain his dominion. Over time, the ring became known by different names. To Christians, it became the Star of David, and later, the Jews incorporated it into their cultural and religious symbols. However, historically, this symbol was used even in the Islamic world, including the Ottoman Empire. The story of Solomon's ring bears striking similarities to the legendary One Ring from the Lord of the Rings. But could such a ring truly exist? The ring's disappearance. One of the most famous legends about the ring tells of how Solomon lost it. According to Jewish tradition, Whenever Solomon entered the toilet, he would remove his ring and hand it to his wife. One day, a jinn disguised as Solomon tricked his wife and stole the ring. With the ring in his possession, the jinn took Solomon's place, ruling in his name. When Solomon emerged and demanded the ring back, the jinn banished him from the palace. Forced into exile, Solomon lived in a fishing village, working among ordinary people. Years later, the jinn threw the ring into the sea to prevent anyone else from claiming it. But one evening, a fisherman caught a fish, and inside its stomach, the ring was found. Solomon retrieved it, placed it back on his finger, and returned to reclaim his throne. From this story comes the proverb, "Whoever has the ring is Solomon." However, some scholars argue that this story cannot be true. If jinn had the power to impersonate prophets, it would undermine faith in divine guidance. Nonetheless, one thing is certain, the ring disappeared after Solomon's death, and many believe it will reappear one day. The modern search for the ring. Recently in Turkey, an 800-year-old door bearing the Star of David was discovered in a village in Samsun's Ladik district. Even more astonishing, Turkish authorities conducted a raid in Amasya, seizing historical artifacts including gold inscriptions with Hebrew text, a statue of a bull, a book of black magic, a bronze seal. Some believe this seal could be the legendary seal of Solomon. Experts are currently examining the artifact to determine its origins. The ring's role in the future. The idea that such a powerful ring could still exist has captivated many. Some believe that world governments and intelligence agencies are actively seeking it. There are even theories that certain state leaders communicate with jinn and use them for intelligence operations. Could secret organizations be searching for the ring to gain control over supernatural forces? According to Islamic tradition, the staff of Moses and the seal of Solomon will emerge from the underworld before the apocalypse. When this happens, Muslims will take control of the world. Similarly, many Jewish scholars believe the ring will one day return to Israel. If the ring is ever found, who will claim it? And how will they use its power? The mystery remains unsolved. Kindly subscribe this channel to support Islamic content.